Welcome to Connect, powered by the Fulton County Department of Senior Services. I'm your host, Ladisa Onilagu. This show connects you to information, services, and programs that support healthy aging. Some would posit that advocacy is one of the most ancient and honorable of all callings. From time immemorial, the principle that a person has the right to select another to plead his cause has been recognized. Many of the great orators of Greece and Rome, though in a manner differing from that of modern time, performed the functions of advocates, and many of their most famous orations were composed for that purpose. This quote was taken from a paper published in the November 1992 Virginia Law Review written by E.W. Timberlake Jr. Do you believe that advocacy in modern times is still a noble calling? Perhaps you have a genuine and sincere interest in helping, raising awareness, or providing education to others. Today, we will talk with two guests who have answered advocacy's call. You'll hear from Marcetta Ray, Chair of the Commission on Elder Affairs, and Eunice Glover, President of a local neighborhood planning unit in the city of Atlanta. They will share insight on how to advocate for older adults in your community and home. So stay tuned. We're back and glad to have you with us today on Connect. I'm your host, Ladisa Onilagu. The word advocate was first recorded in the English language in the 1300s as a noun, according to the Oxford English Dictionary. It stemmed from the French word advocate, and before that, the Latin word advocatus. The term means to be called to or summoned, or more specifically, to come to someone's aid in the courtroom. However, before lawyers, there were armies who helped protect the city, people from outside harm. There were churches that cared for the orphans and widows or fed the hungry and protected the weak. There were people within communities who gave the homeless shelter. These actions were not considered advocacy the way we know it today. When they first started, these instances were just the act of standing up for someone who could not stand up for or nor protect themselves, to speak for someone whose voice was being ignored or could not be heard. Joining us today is Eunice Glover, Director of the Cascade Heights Community Alliance Center. Eunice Glover is currently the President of the Center for Enhancing Organizational Learning and Development. She has over 20 years of experience helping organizations manage change, building teams and communication structures. And she served as a visiting professor at the Keller School of Management, DeVry University, as an instructor at Howard Community College, where she taught business, communication, and social entrepreneurship. Ms. Glover is currently the chair of Neighborhood Planning Unit I, or well known as NPUI, a community organization which serves over 2,100 individuals. Ms. Glover, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
What started your passion for advocacy and community education?
Okay, it really started in my youth. I lived in a community in Washington, D.C., and you were trained at an early age the importance of working with your community and supporting them. At about 14 years old, I was doing taxes for the neighborhood. I was taking accounting courses, and we were always doing things for our community and the neighbors. So it's always been there. And so volunteerism is as natural for me as anything else. It's part of what I do. And I'm able to bring my experience from my business and my previous employment to the table, organizational development, and that's really my goal in many things.
Will you talk to us a little bit about what exactly is a local neighborhood planning unit?
Well, in 1974, they were launched by Mayor Maynard Jackson, and they were developed to provide the community with a voice to the city of Atlanta. And they still play that role. They are a collection of neighborhoods. Every NPU has so many neighborhoods within the NPU. And representatives from the neighborhood make up the executive committees. And they identify things they want to advocate for. And advocacy is huge. That's what it's all about. Reaching out with the partner, the City of Atlanta, and other partners that we have to make things happen. Just like now, we're working on hotspot streets, identifying all of the streets within our neighborhoods, the major streets, the through roads, the neighborhood streets, and identifying streets where speeding is taking place. Once we have that, we will reach out to our partners, the Atlanta Police Department, Zone 1 and Zone 4, and we will reach out to Commissioner Rowan, Department of Transportation. But there's still an educational aspect to it. Vision Zero, what is it? Take the pledge. And that's the journey that we generally take with most of the projects that we advocate for. There's always an educational piece so that one doesn't assume that other people know what you know. We want all ideas coming together, and that makes it stronger. And so the education piece is always a part of it.
Oh, that's great insight for our viewers today. And you've laid out a very clear template for other cities that may not have NPUs, but have strong neighborhood organizations or individuals who are interested in starting something similar. Let's bring it home a little bit closer to the Department of Senior Services. How does your unit increase awareness regarding issues related to older adults?
The senior population in the city of Atlanta is huge. And one of the things that was launched some time ago, a program by AARP, and Atlanta signed on to it, the AARP age-friendly plan, Atlanta plan. And one of the things on that program is communication and information. And we were fortunate enough, and I do thank our partners with the city, we got a community grant. And part of that grant funds will be funds for communication. And the focus will be our seniors and families. Age-friendly AARP is age-friendly and family-friendly. And we're going to be able to buy postcards, to send things by mail, calling post, and we're going to be working with Fulton County to get book boxes to put in neighborhoods. And that's going to be the communication piece. We want all age groups to be actively involved, and seniors bring in tremendous experience. And we need that experience to push our programs to the highest level.
I agree with you. Ms. Glover, what is one of the main challenges that seniors have via quality of life that you've found?
One of the challenges that I'm seeing is that isolation and loneliness, and the pandemic has exacerbated that. But many years ago, through the AARP, the World Health Organization, talked about it, and the impact of it can be physical and mental impairment. And that's why I'm so focused on all generations working together, because when that happens, you have a strong, high quality of life city. That's what you have. And so that's why we are focusing on reaching out, pulling people together, and ensuring that our seniors understand we need your voice. We need your experience. You are important to all of our goals and our success. And we're going to do that through our communication efforts. And we're going to reach out to their children as well, because you do have some seniors that have caregivers, and the caregivers need to be engaged in the community as well.
Great insight and feedback for our viewers today. Do you have any closing thoughts with our audience?
Volunteers don't really have the time, but they have the love. And so whatever time you have, reach out in your communities, reach out to the seniors, your parents, relatives, neighbors, and just say thank you to the many volunteers and everyone who dedicates their time to make a difference in our world. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Glover, for joining us today. I've learned quite a bit from you and have enjoyed our discussions even before today's show. So we know that what you've shared with us will be meaningful and impactful to the community. Up next is Perfectly Seasoned with nutritionist Brandy Coffee and head cook at the Darnell Senior Multipurpose Facility, Asia Simmons. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Brandy Coffee, Nutrition Coordinator for Senior Services, and I have
Asia Simmons, head cook at Darnell.
and we're preparing salmon croquettes today.
All right, hope everybody's doing okay today. Salmon croquettes is a very simple, inexpensive, healthful meal. You're gonna start with your canned salmon. Any brand you choose, we all know canned salmon is heavy with omega-3s, very good nutrition. All right, so what I do is I keep my bones and everything in there. My granny taught me that. You get a good grip and just smush it really, really good to make sure there's no bones in there, okay? You also want to drain your salmon. All right, these are the ingredients that we're using. We're keeping it real simple. We have garlic powder. We have a fresh egg, a little lemon juice. You can do fresh lemon juice, up to you. Mayo is a good binder. Green onion, celery, and a green bell pepper. Okay, it's really good to focus on fresh seasonings because, you know, we're trying to eat healthful. Okay, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna just toss all this into the bowl. If you want to saute your veggies, you could. If you like the crunch, you do what you like, okay?
So we have the green pepper.
Sorry, we have the green pepper, celery, onion, we have the mayo, all right? A little lemon juice.
What would you say, about a teaspoon?
I'll say about a teaspoon.
Okay,
We have 1 egg,
awesome.
and then I'm gonna hit you with like 1/4 teaspoon of the garlic powder. If you wanna do a little bit more, this is your cake, you do what you like. Use your hands, best utensils, and you're gonna mix it, okay? Now right here, we have a flour and cornmeal mixture. If you wanna season it with some garlic powder, you can do that as well, but we're just gonna leave it like this. Now I hope you know that we're not using any salt. When you have something that's canned, it already has salt in it, so we don't want it to be salty. Also, if you want your balls to firm up a little bit more, you can place them in the freezer. It's up to you, about 10-20 minutes. So I have a salmon croquette or cake, whatever word you choose. We're gonna toss it really, really good with the cornmeal flour mixture. We have some hot oil over here on the stove, and we're gonna go immediately to the oil, okay? All right. So I'm gonna put my cake in there, take my gloves off.
And what kind of oil are you using?
This is a vegetable oil. Use any type of oil you want. I personally wouldn't recommend olive, but that's just my preference. Okay. We already have one in the pan.
And this is a great inexpensive meal.
Yes, and I hope you see that nice golden brown color. That is what you want for your patty. okay? And it doesn't take long because we know the salmon is already cooked. Here we have our finished product. We have our salmon croquettes, a light spring salad, fresh tomatoes, garnished with a little tartar sauce and a little squeeze of fresh lemon.
So we have a healthy meal under $5 at 340 calories. Enjoy.
If you've just tuned in, you're watching Connect, powered by the Fulton County Department of Senior Services. Today, we're talking about senior advocacy and learning about how to increase awareness regarding the needs of older adults in your community. My next guest is Morissetta Ray. After a career as a corporate trainer, Ms. Ray launched her own small business where she provided professional coaching, training, and documentation services. Ms. Ray established an elder-focused 501c3 to help families become aware of available resources and connect them with needed services. In her spare time, she enjoys reading, creative writing, and researching. She is also the author of 2 books. Ms. Ray, we're glad you're with us today.
It's good to be here with you.
So I understand that you were a caregiver for your parents and saw firsthand the concerns of seniors and their families. Is this what led you to senior advocacy?
Yes, I guess you could say that officially that was the impetus that got me started. Although I have been a volunteer with seniors for some years, so I've done some advocacy in the past, but it became very clear to me as a caregiver that there were a lot of holes in information that was available readily to seniors and to their families. I could see that a lot of it was confusing. You had to kind of sift through to find exactly what it was that you needed. You didn't really know who the best contacts were to get the information that you needed. And sometimes it just wasn't there. You know, you needed to work around some things. So getting in touch with, for me, getting in touch with South Fulton Senior Services was a very key part of my caregiving, the start of, I guess you could say, adequate caregiving. Because as a caregiver, sometimes you feel like you're stretched in so many different directions that you just can't fit it all in. So when I made contact with South Fulton Senior Services, it was just a great help to me. And they pointed me in the direction of getting services that were available here, to get a CNA to come in when I needed a CNA and that sort of thing. But again, that still left a lot that I needed to learn. And so I've been on a search since that time to try to identify as many resources as I could so that I could pass on some of that information to other families.
So let's connect that search to my next question, and it will share with our viewers a role that you play here in Fulton County. Share with our viewers the purpose of the Fulton County Commission on Elder Affairs.
Well, the Commission on Elder Affairs, and really I didn't know a lot about it until just a couple of years ago, but it is a vital point for seniors in Atlanta. We are an advocacy group to try to get the story out to the commission and to the community about what resources are available. First of all, though, we try to identify what some of the main concerns are of seniors. Being able to, first of all, identify the main concerns of seniors, and then finding out if there are resources that can help them, and then getting that out to the commission, as well as to other senior groups in Fulton County. That's what we're all about. We're an advocacy group. We're not officially a department of Fulton County, but we are an advocacy council. And that's what we're all about, is getting the information to the people that need it.
Agreed. And what I love about this Fulton County Board of Commissioners appointed organization, but commission essentially, is that you are an extension and do something a little bit different from the Department of Fulton County Senior Services, which is you're able to reach all aspects in different ways in the county that are separate and apart from the programs that we provide. So almost like those gap filled eyes on the key issues that matter most to seniors and caregivers, even community members. Can you share with our audience who the members are and when do you meet?
Yes, the members are either appointed by the commissioners. Each commissioner appoints one person to serve on the board. Then we have the contract agencies. So we have, for instance, the Council on Aging. They have 4 representatives on the council. There's also South Fulton Senior Services and Senior Services North Fulton. So it brings us up to a total of 13 members. And we meet monthly on the second Friday of the month at 12:30. Right now, we're meeting via Zoom. We also invite members of the community. Anyone's invited to be a part of the commission, not as a voting board member necessarily, but certainly as an active participant.
Ms. Ray, what are the major senior concerns the commission has identified for 2022? And how do you intend to address some of those concerns?
As I said, it varied. We have many concerns. And we started to see that last year. I just took over as chairperson last year. And we were fortunate to be able to identify some issues then, and we began addressing them. Now for this year, one of the things that we have done is we've tried to go out and, pretty much survey groups individually, but informally. And also we've surveyed our members. And what we found is there are a number of things that came up again and again. As an example, one of the main issues for this year was estate planning. And we started off the year talking with an estate planning lawyer. We know that all of us need to get our houses in order. And so that was one of the things that we determined early on. We also discovered that a major issue relates to senior housing. What are the decisions that we need to make as we age? I know, just thinking personally, I had begun wondering, should I stay in my home permanently, or should I start to look somewhere else? And so that ends up being one of the main issues. If you decide to stay in your home, what sorts of adaptations do you need to make? What are some of the issues in regard to social interaction that are concerning? So that's one of the issues that we're going to look at. Another one is long-term planning. If we've got Medicare and we've got the Social Security, why do we need long-term care? What's the differentiation there? So we're going to be looking at that as well. We're going to be looking at the diabetic needs. That's a big issue, especially in our community. So we're going to be looking at that. So there are a number of them. We are posting all of the concerns, the major concerns for this year on the Fulton County website under Senior Services Commission on Elder Affairs.
I want to share with our audience that you've done an amazing job with the other commission members in just revamping the way that the Commission on Elder Affairs functions, even the white paper that was developed, and bringing in presenters to address and share information about some of the concerns you've just raised. So I'm very grateful that you're able to join us today. Do you have any additional thoughts for our audience?
I just like to say that we'd like to get input wherever we can get good input. So I'd like to invite everyone that's watching, if you would get in touch with the Fulton County Commission on Elder Affairs. We've got our contact information on the Fulton County website. Reach out and touch us. Come to our meetings. Find out what we're all about, because there are a lot of issues. Even staying up on legislative changes in Georgia and in the country on the federal level, we need to be aware of those issues that relate to seniors in particular. And so we'd like to get input from whoever is interested and whoever wants to improve our community. So we invite you to come, join us, and let's hear from you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Ray, for being with us today.
Good to be here.
We'll be back with closing thoughts. We're so glad you shared your time with us today. Hopefully you learned a few ways on how to advocate for older adults. Another perspective that lends to a higher level of advocacy is by increasing personal knowledge of how to aid your loved one. Championing the causes of elders in your immediate or extended family can have a greater impact because you know your loved one better than anyone else. Often a parent or grandparent or older loved one becomes too ill to manage things on their own. And when family members step in and take over the care of the senior, he or she is acting essentially as a care advocate for his or her loved one. We invite you to answer Advocacy's call, similar to our guest, Ms. Eunice Glover and Ms. Marcetta Ray, and look into ways on how to become more a part of your community and supporting the needs of older adults. If you need more information on supportive services, programs, advocacy, and referrals that can help you support loved ones in your community or family, the Department of Senior Services is here for you. We exist to support independence, help, and delay cognitive decline through programs for seniors, caregivers, and the community. We do this by providing programs in group and individual settings through preventive, intervention, and supportive services. We welcome your feedback and the opportunity to speak with you further about these and more services. For more information about these programs and our department, contact us at 404-613-6000 or email us at seniorservices@fultoncountyga.gov. You may also follow us at Fulton Info. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on Connect, powered by the Department of Senior Services.